I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
It's Saturday night from the Saville Shootout, presented by Curling Stadium, Edmonton. My name is Shawn Joyce. I'm joined tonight by Matt Hames. We're at the Saville Community Sports Center in Edmonton. We've got men's action on here Saturday night. Let's draw 4 of the round robin for these teams. Mike McEwen coming into this game with a perfect 3-0 record, facing Jacob Libbus, and the Libbus team comes in with a record of 1-2 now. We were looking at the draw in between. There's still 5 teams after 3 games coming into this draw tonight that are at a perfect 5-0 and 4 more at 2-1. And that does mean that in all likelihood, 2 losses is going to make some kind of a tiebreaker. So for Jacob Libbus, this is a must-win game.
Yeah. So when you're playing a must-win game, do you play aggressive or do you play safe?
Well, I don't think you change your game, but it's always nice to know you're still alive. That's there's pros and cons to both types of draws, right? But that's the always been the one issue with a round robin draw is you don't always know if you've got a couple of losses. You don't know if you're still in it or not. Whereas in a triple knockout, if you're still playing, you've still got a chance.
Yep.
As always, the teams have a practice session before they start, and a draw to the button determines who's got last rock in the first end of play. It was the Libbus team that won the draw to the button.
Yeah.
Center guard was throwing up these last 2 draws that have come behind the tee line a little deeper than either team would have liked. This is the lead, Michael Hendricks. I'm going to apologize in advance because there's a couple of names on here I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce.
Yeah.
The second is Zachary Polyuk. The third, Nathan Mulberg. And the skip, Jacob Libbus. The McEwen team I'm very familiar with here in Saskatchewan. They were our provincial winners last year, so I saw a number of their games during the Tankard. Of course, was watching as a fan through the Brier. Called a couple of their games so far this weekend. You were with me on the one this afternoon, Matt.
Yep.
A great game. You only have to introduce one of the Marsh boys because they're identical twins, so they look the same.
Right.
Kevin Marsh is the second. He's the one throwing. Daniel Marsh sweeping on the left. Colton Flash the third with his brush down. Mike McEwen is the skip. And I think I told you this afternoon, Matt, the way I tell the Marsh boys apart is Daniel's a little more flat foot and Kevin's right up on his toe, where he should be.
Yep. Where he should be. That's where what he said.
Be. That's always the way I phrase it. And he knows that too.
Yeah.
It's actually funny when you look at that team. And there's still lots of Tuckers around. It's just hard to see that many of them together on one team because you've got Kevin, Colton, and Mike.
Yeah.
Dan's the only one with a handicap.
They're a bit rare. Not in Saskatchewan, though.
No. Yeah, you'll still see a lot of them around. Probably more in Manitoba.
That's not the worst way to miss that.
It's not, but we're seeing some struggles here with the draw weight in this first end.
Yeah.
So the couple of draws came to the back of the house. That one short of the rings. and surprising to me only because I haven't seen a lot of that so far this week.
Yeah.
The teams have had really good handle on draw weight right from the opening end of most of the games that I've seen. That practice session beforehand does help.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it's for. Years ago when they didn't let you have that practice session before, a lot of teams would throw the first one in and they'd just bang, 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 and you'd have one or two open ends. And now teams get a little bit of a practice session beforehand. They know the weight and they're ready to play.
Yeah, they're ready to play.
There's no wasting two ends just to get familiar with the ice.
So the debate here was come around or just play this yellow onto yellow. They're trying to way cross it and get it over the top. Like that.
Yep. Boy, I was thinking somebody maybe should have stayed with the shooter.
Yeah.
I wasn't entirely sure you couldn't have gotten that in. It doesn't look like you could have, but the way it was rolling, I wasn't sure.
Play this yellow onto yellow. They're trying to way cross it and get it over the top. Like that.
Yep. Boy, I was thinking somebody maybe should have stayed with the shooter. Good, all of these men's teams are at the run backs.
Yeah.
So it's hard to go around a guard like that.
Trying a little board weight, hit and roll inside here.
Gonna get to the nose, won't get any kind of roll behind cover.
Just a nice little control weight here.
Yeah, I didn't really see Mike indicate a roll one way or the other. He might want to just hit it on the nose.
He kind of indicated nose.
Yeah.
It's got to go. It's got to curl.
Well, and they will.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet weight. So should come in there pretty nice. Rolls a bit outside. Gives a chance. Gives a bit more of a chance. A little bit more air now. Chance to get an inside roll.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to roll dead in behind it, though.
No, probably not.
I'm wondering if that was part of what's in the back of Mike's mind when he didn't try to roll under. They knows that they knows roll under, and now if you make the run back, you're buried in front of the T line. This is one of those ones where if you had your choice, you'd actually probably prefer to roll to about half buried, and actually maybe half buried on the wide side of the guard.
Yeah, over roll.
Yeah.
Or roll behind the center.
I don't think there's any way it stays that straight.
Yeah, not anymore. It was never going to go underneath.
No. At the T line now. So now you see Mike indicate, let's go for the roll.
A little more aggressive on the ice call here. A little tighter ice. Put it down. Hold it there with sweep. I don't think this is going to go enough.
Sweeping for the extra curl already.
Yeah.
It's close. Get a little bit of a roll, maybe edge to edge on it. Ah, he's got it.
That's not bad.
Half under, yeah.
That's some good sweeping. Good weight, just good weight. The weight was so quiet. Just good weight control.
Room for Nathan to make a pass at it now. He's going to have to try to roll across to the other guard to get buried.
Yeah, this is tight ice. This is going to go right away. You threw that pretty good too. This is going to go right away. This has a very real chance of crashing on the guard.
It's already on the guard, yeah.
Yeah, that ice was really, really tight. Maybe they were intending to throw it a little harder. That just didn't look makeable out of his hand. Nice in the first end when you get to throw an out-turn guard.
Yeah. Just all kinds of problems there for the Libbus team. Not only did they crashed the guard. Their shooter didn't hang around, and I had to watch the replay to make sure that, because I doubt anybody was watching that rock, but that redstone on the edge of the 12-foot, it's alive. It didn't touch the side. That was the guard they crashed, and they just pushed
picked it
in,
on.
which, seems like a small thing, except there's no blank in play now.
Yeah, there's no blank. If you put this guard up and you split them both off, Mike just comes around the other guard and you're forced to win for sure.
Yeah.
It's a tough break.
Almost, if you were going to crash the guard anyway, they almost should have come off the sweep. If they hit it a little bit thicker, they probably kill the guard and get their shooter in the rings.
Yeah.
It totally changes the situation.
That would have worked out a lot more in their favor.
Yeah. It's a little tougher for Mike to just ignore it if it's hanging around for second shot over opening the 8-foot somewhere, for instance.
Might have given him a little bit of an out here.
He's got room to get to it from the out in turn.
Yeah. Collect the rocks over there and maybe get yourself some sort of blank out of a double or in roll out or something.
Yeah, I'm still not seeing a blank without some kind of a miss from Mike, but at the very least you should have a much more makeable shot to score. If they make the guard, you miss the double. He guards it again. You're not playing the double on your last one. You've got to draw to beat that stone in the first end.
Yep. Yeah. He's definitely playing some quiet weight here.
Yeah, you got to hold the shooter.
Plenty of ice.
If you roll out, it gives Mike a chance to bury one on the center, and we're back to where you might not be able to score.
Oh, they're just going to skin you.
They're actually going to roll. Oh, thought he was going to roll inside. It kind of stopped curling after it got past the guard.
It was a good shot.
Yeah, it was.
It was a good shot. Guessing ice and good weight. Mike's got a little bit more ice, so expect it to be just a little quieter.
Yeah, he's not going to want to flirt with the guard. As long as he hits and stays somewhere, he's got the force.
He can also trust his sweepers to just hold it.
Well, for sure. It's one of the reasons they have Colton sweeping instead of in the house.
Yeah, Colton's on the hold it side.
You will notice that happens a lot. Doesn't matter which turn they throw, they'll put Colton on the inside.
Yeah.
Well, sweeping for the curl, though. This is a long ways out. He's close to missing it.
He's going to get a piece. He's going to get more than enough of it, but he's going to definitely roll out. Oof. He looked like he slid a little tight and worked it out there.
Could have been, and boy, you back anything up at all, and it does take a lot longer to get started.
Yeah.
So on the upside for Jacob Libbus, he's got a chance here to blank this opening end and keep last rock. On the downside, he's got to throw a hit so far out that through 3 games, there's no guarantee he's thrown a rock out this far. This is going to be a bit of a guess, too, as to how much it's going to do. And looks like he's going at it from the inside out and will try to roll his shooter all the way across. So he's got to roll.
Yeah, he's got to roll plenty. It's interesting because a lot of people would just put like outside edge of the middle of the rock and throw the in at it, and just because if you nose it, you're good too.
You could, yeah, sometimes, and you're right, a lot of teams would. But if you look at that, look at a particular sheet, because I was just glancing at that myself. There's not a lot of room on the edge of the sheet outside of the rings.
Yeah, well, he just rolled inside.
Yeah, made the hit, but he stayed there.
That's a tough way to make that peel. But anyway, good end.
Yeah. Puts a single point on the board for Libbus. He'll take the 1-0 lead. Mike McEwen will have last rock in the second.
You got one, you got two, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Saturday night, and if you're not watching curling from the Saville Center, what the heck are you doing?
Exactly. What are you doing? It's curling season.
Yeah, it was only 33 degrees outside here today. It's not the 33 you expect when you're curling.
Right.
Center guard thrown up to start this end, the tight center, corner guard to follow. Now Michael Henrik's being asked to throw the come around. This is where things got a little sketchy in the first end. These come around attempts in the first end all came a little deep early in the end. See if you can make the adjustment here. It's an entirely different game if you can control the area in front of the tee line. Really working the brush to hold the line, get by the guard as soon as they were by, switch brushers to try to get some curl. Probably 2/3 behind cover.
Yeah.
We're still in the free guard zone, so it's a little risky to make a play on a shot like that. If you touch the guard, you lose the shot.
If you touch the guard and you lose your shooter, so come around this corner. That's that's making it really interesting, the kind of calls that you're going to make now.
And it's not just the free guard zone. The no-tick zone has changed things a little as well, because once upon a time, a lot of teams, and not necessarily just at this level, like even the tier 2, if you want to call them that. I've done it with teams of my own where you just call for a heavy draw here and try to touch the yellow. And if you touch the guard, so what? You put it in the rings.
Roll on.
Yeah. But you do that now, and your rock goes to the corner and the guard goes back, and that's like a complete miss. Well, those are too hard to recover from.
Yeah.
So they make the come around. It is a little deep, but it's buried.
Would you ever consider in turn around the 2 yellows here? Basically where his broom is.
Yeah. Would I? Probably not.
Yeah.
It's such a tough shot, and it's the 5th rock of the end. So if you make it, he's going to try to run the triple on the yellows, and now you're in all kinds of trouble.
Oh, that might not have worked out that badly for them right now, though.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that...
Because the run back, there's the danger it's jamming on the red at the back of the 8-foot, so I don't know if that's a shot option.
Just a back ring weight?
Yeah, I'm liking what he's looking at now. You just hit the guard, jam it onto one yellow, have your shooter roll over, guard your shot rock, and now the middle at least is open.
Yeah, it's much more open. Yeah.
It's a good way to play it, too. He's not looking at making the double. If he tries to hit it thin enough to go over the top and make the double on the yellows, He's going to lose his shooter. In
Yeah,
fact,
he
it might
loses
even
shooter.
clip out the guard. He wants to keep this shooter in play. Just get the guards off the center line. This is something we saw with this McEwen team this afternoon, and I've seen it before with them too. They're one of the more patient teams, and we had a lot of fun watching this afternoon. It's one of those things that, the rules nowadays, especially if you've got a team that could throw the big weight and move a lot of granite with a couple of stones, it really allows you to wait later and later and later in an end to make a big move. So he's just trying to make sure he's got a shot for later. They certainly don't mind playing runbacks and angles. They're very good at it.
I think you just try to play
there.
I think you try to play this freeze again, right? Like he was looking at like a hack weight hit and roll, but I think you just freeze.
It's a tough port. It's a little smaller now.
Yeah, it's a little smaller, but it probably looks monstrous from the hack. He's playing it with a time. He's playing it to move it. Let's move it ice. It's tight ice again.
I'm looking at them here thinking the skip looks a lot more confident in this than the guy in the hack holding the rock. He took a long time before he crouched down.
Yeah, this is really tight ice. It's a positive release. It's going to go right away, though.
Yeah, it's curling. Now, as long as you're thin, if you chip the guard out of the way, that's not the end of the world here.
No, it's not.
This is better management, though, that we had the one last end, and we talked about it even at the time where once they knew they were on the guard, they probably would have been better off to hit it a little thicker.
They're just not giving themselves a chance with the ice yet. Like that
I'm not sure he had the weight there either. I mean, if you look at where he ended up after touching that, I don't think he had the weight to kill that stone. And I don't know their hand signals. I'm not 100% familiar with this team, but I thought he was looking for something around half weight.
Yeah, I think that was pretty close. I mean, if they pound it the whole way, it's got a chance to be close to the weight. But
he chipped that guard and just ended up in the 12. I don't think he had through weight.
Yeah,
I think he was back house.
Yeah, the weight was a little down. So we're trying to just hit this pretty hard and roll the shooter on.
I don't think it's a question of hard. I think it's just a question of precise. I think he's just trying to stuff the one.
Roll the shooter for a guard.
Yeah.
We're close.
Red onto yellow. Try to stick it right there. It's going to come across a little bit.
Okay.
I think he wanted to hit that just a little bit thicker.
Yeah, he did.
Get another rock in the rings out of it.
Yeah, they got a nice
double
little
at the top.
They got a nice little break with the rock, with that rock stand. Almost took the one in on the right hand side too.
Yeah, I saw that. The lighter makes things interesting because there's a double available on those top two yellows.
I know.
And really, he could hit it, make the double, and roll into the rings. So you have to be careful with this hit. It's important to stick around, but I don't think you want to be rolling behind the two yellows.
No, I think you want to nose it. Yeah, I think you want to nose this. Oof, this is trouble.
Well, you're not nosing it.
No.
You're going to have to go to get a piece. Good job by the brushers to hold it. Gets a piece, does get it out.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, this goes back to that patience we were just talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you make the double, you roll over and leave a double, right? Like your shooter has to roll over a bit. You're going to leave a double back. But if you play it this way,
if you stuff it, roll your shooter in. Now the two redstones probably pretty close to mirror each other. You can't hit either one of them right on the nose.
Right.
When you roll in off either one of them, you're going to leave another double.
Well, I really like the call, but they talked me out of it.
I think you got outvoted from the other end.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were looking at. There's no jumbotron here.
Yeah, they're.
If they could have seen the overhead, they might have understood the call.
Yeah, I like that. I like that call by Mike, but it was definitely overruled.
Thin on the second stone. Mike ready at the tee line, try to get it all the way through, but it's going to hang on to the back of the 12-foot.
Well, It looks like red shot though, which is
Yeah,
nice
I think
break
red is
too.
shot. Without last rock, I don't think it matters. I think Libbus has to make a pass at this redstone.
I think if yellow was shot, would he consider going to open side?
I don't know him that well. I wouldn't.
Right.
You just ask him. You start leaving the other team's stones around.
Yeah, you do ask for trouble, especially a team.
All of these teams are so good at the upweight. Just because you split the house doesn't mean you're not going to leave a double.
No. Well, this is thirds last.
Yep. Now, here's the thing. If you hit and stay right there, I'm not sure Mike's going to play the double.
No, I don't think he is. I think he comes around.
Yeah. And not that you had a choice. Like, what else could you do? You couldn't risk rolling towards the center line because if you don't get it over the top of the back when you make the shot for him. He's looking at the double.
Oh, this is, I guess I thought this is Colton's last. I think you played that. Why not? I like this turn too a lot.
I'd have played. He's got last rock here. It's the second end. I'd have played the come around.
Yeah.
Most teams are pretty willing to try to score in the even ends. Close to the double. Well, he might have been close to the double. Man down. Seen a couple of people go down this weekend, and that's just one of the things happens early in the season. Nobody's got their feet under them quite right yet.
Right.
There's nothing really that happened there. There were no guards or anything to step over. It's just you're not in mid-season form in any way, including walking on ice.
Oh. Done it myself a few times. I like this turn too a lot.
I'd have played. He's got last rock here. It's the second end. I'd have played the come around.
Yeah.
Most teams are pretty willing to try to score in the even ends. Close to the double. Well, he might have been close to the double. Man down. Seen it. Just one of those things that happens at the start of the season because you're not in mid-season form, and every once in a while you take a bit of a misstep and that's I've seen two falls, and I was looking. Yeah, I saw two falls already this weekend myself, and in the chat I saw somebody saying they had seen one or two others. So, I mean, it happens. It's the start of the year. It's an unfortunate time for it because I think he had the shot.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was going to make the double.
I thought it was really close. It was starting to come up. That was actually why he was getting ready to put his broom down.
Yeah. This is a lot of ice to split the rings. He's going to end up biting the edge of the floor on the other side. I don't think you. I'd be tempted to go a little tighter to make that, because if
you go too wide, I know what you're thinking, but if you go too wide, Mike's going to draw around that.
I know. I think you want full 8 foot or just off the. I guess it's pretty close.
You have to make him play this stone.
Yeah. You want this probably in.
You'd like to see your sweepers bending over. This is not usually a good sign.
Yeah. I'm frozen, so.
It's the live feed is frozen, like the YouTube feed is frozen too. So we've frozen up just a little bit here.
Yeah. Gives us a lot of chances to talk. Well, they did discuss, it looks, I mean, I'm sure they discussed freezing to this or coming around the corner. And elected.
Yeah, hard to be shot rock around the corner. So you play the freeze. And there's still a chance. I mean, he's got to blast it out. If you lock the freeze on good enough, that makes that a difficult shot.
Yeah. Look how much less ice he's taken for this draw compared to what Libbus took. just a difference
in the release, and he knows his own out turn so well.
Of course, he knows the right ice to get it to there. He also watched it. It's just interesting to me that it's almost a rock glass ice. A little heavy. Not bad.
Yeah, Mike will probably tell you he's not happy with it.
Yeah, I know.
Nose hit doubles it out. If he's anything for inside, he picks it. So.
If he did dead freeze on it and not hit that back one, it might have jammed on them. Like if he tried to pick it, it might have jammed on that back yellow. If he makes the shot,
yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I don't know whether that would have been possible, but the nice thing about if he freezes to that side, now when he blasts it out, it still has to go 8 feet to get out of the rings.
Yeah.
It's not a gimme.
No.
But
There's
as soon as you give it a little bit of separation, this is a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's a little more gimme.
Yeah, he can straighten.
Doesn't like it.
He didn't look like he liked that, and they're trying to sweep for curl.
Yeah, I think he's aired it.
He probably likes it less now.
Yeah. You could see his reaction as soon as he let it go. He gave her a bit.
Yeah, and probably when he gave her a bit back. And I wonder if that doesn't come back to the shot in the first end. When he's looking for the blank and he curled up to the nose. So now he gets into the hacks to throw a similar type shot in the second end and just really overthrew it, because he could have gotten away with a nose hit on that one. It still would have made the double.
Yeah, this game gets in your head.
It does, and never in a good way.
Never in a good way. You got to get that previous shot out of your head and get all the shots you've made in your head. Like, that's the key. You just got to believe you're never going to miss. And if you miss, you just have to forget it.
Maybe the worst part of it for Jacob Libbus, he gives Mike McEwen a chance to throw the exact same shot he just threw to try to pick up his deuce.
Yeah.
Exact same shot, thrown the exact same way, put 2 points on the board for Mike McEwen. He'll take a 2-1 lead here, taking advantage of that slight miscue. Jacob Libbus will have last rock when we come back.
Stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind. From pre-seed to post-harvest, you can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you and your farm ahead of the curve. Grow with us at victorycanola.com.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You can throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
A slight miscue from Jacob Libbus on his final stone in the second end gives Mike McEwen the chance to draw for 2. He takes the 2-1 lead as we begin play here in the third, and Libbus will have last rock. One thing we've seen so far through now, this is the third end. Doesn't matter who's got last rock. They're throwing center guards.
Yeah.
Both teams willing to put a little bit of pressure on. Pulls that stone into the top of the button area. Slightly over curls the guard, if anything. He's probably quarter sticking out there. Daniel Marsh will look to just follow it down, sit on top for now.
Yeah, just try to freeze on top of it, pop it, just in front of it, as anywhere in front of it, really.
This goes back to what we were just talking about a little while ago, that they're so good at playing the angles, and so many of the teams are. It's not just the McEwen team, it's a lot of the teams are like that. And you spend these first 5, 6, 7 rocks of an end with both teams jockeying back and forth, just trying to set up an angle in the house, knowing that later on in the end, if you've got the angles in your favor, you can play one big run back and it can end up in a big score.
Yeah.
It makes for interesting viewing, for sure. Makes it a lot of fun when we're commentating as well, because that's the other thing that changes. Once upon a time, the free guard zone in one form or the other has been around since I believe it was 93. Before that, in a lot of cases, there's only one shot to play. Well, now there's a lot of cases where you've got 2, 3, 4 options as to what you can play.
Yeah. Not bad.
Well, not great. He would have preferred not to bounce off or maybe over curl a little more. Right now, when we talk about angles that could get used later on in the end, for instance, if you ever got a chance to hit that yellow on the nose, both yellows fly and the red stays there.
Yeah. Well, he's gearing up. He's gearing it up by freezing on top of this.
Yeah, he's going to freeze again, and then it's almost hard to miss it later.
It's hard to miss it, yeah. Yeah, Libbus has got to change these angles. Maybe on his next one, throw an out turn and just get something in there that changes these angles.
Or try to jiggle something. You might have to do that. Like, you almost have to look at it now if you're Jacob Libbus, that my shot rock, the one on the corner of the button, it's not any good for anything. In fact, it's hurting me. So you might have to jiggle things and move it.
Well, that could help a tiny bit.
Well, I still don't see any way that any reds are leaving. I see lots of ways for yellows to leave.
Yeah, reds are not going anywhere yet. But
it'd be tempting to peel the guard here, I think.
That's what he's called.
Yeah, he's in trouble. Open things up. See if he can get back to a blank situation here. It looks like he's trying to play this straight back. I don't like that.
Not sure that he was trying to play that. But
well, I swept it like they were trying to play it. Like, I thought he was playing the straight peel, but
I thought he was playing the straight peel too. Just pick that back yellow. Just play the draw, Mike.
Yeah, do you even need to yet?
Just play the draw. Seconds last.
I'll tell you what, you could throw a guard here even. The two reds are lined up to the yellow. Everything's covered. You throw the guard, he's pretty much got to play the double peel.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with but I don't dislike the guard. I think if you can get this rock right on top,
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
Then you're just putting them in such a pickle. Like there's not a lot of good options if you're yellow anymore.
He's going to try to run it straight back again.
Yeah, that's
you can kill
one red rock. One red rock.
You're going to spill your shot stone. I guess you have to hope that the middle red rock spills out in the open a little bit.
Spills out in the open a bit, and maybe if you can play this to nut, or like if you lose your shooter, but you.
Yeah, if you were going to play that one in, you needed to make something with it there, because that'll be the last chance you get to run your own stone in.
Yeah. They might talk him out of this. They might talk him into just...
No, they'll never talk him out of this. He's guarding this all day. You can guard this, and Jacob Libbus still has to deal with the middle. And right now, like, this is a great situation for Mike McEwen. He's got two ways to get the yellow. They can see enough of it
they can pick it
clean if they had to. And if you hit that red anywhere, the yellow is gone. So you can guard this for the rest of the end. Let Jacob Libbus peel guards, and you play the pick late, and he really doesn't have enough time to do anything with the stones in the middle. I thought he should have straight peeled the last time, and the straight run back this time. He needed to make contact with something and break those angles. That guard slid a little tighter than they probably would have liked.
Yeah, it makes it a bit easier to make contact. Still trouble.
Oh, it is for sure. He's going to lose his own. You really have to hope that
what way
that
do you
middle
want to hit this? You don't want to hit that on the nose.
Pretty close to dead nose, and you got to hope that middle red one is going to splash out into the open a little bit, just so it gives you something to come off of.
Yeah, if you're dead on the nose, your guard is...
Yeah, you're going to have to leave a guard out there, but at least it's your color.
Yeah.
It splashed out there, but not enough. He can see a piece of it, just he needed it to completely spill into the open, and it didn't. You can either guard the yellow or try to get a corner underneath the yellow. That's tough.
Corner underneath the yellow is tough. Easier to just guard it.
It is, yeah. I agree with.
Would you ever tap the one on like not a big tap, just kind of come down and try to hit on the nose of the one biting the top 8?
Well, no, because it's not changing his shot. The shot they're worried about, the shot that Jacob's going to play now, is to run the yellow in. And if you tap that red back, you actually start to give more of a pocket. The problem for Mike McEwen, and that's what he's looking at, it's tough to guard everything with one rock, because right now he could make a play directly on that red stone. So when you're trying to guard everything, that's why you see him tapping. You want to basically split the center line here. You got to take away half of that yellow, but you also want to take away half of the red in the rings, so that he can't really run either one of them back the way he'd like to.
Well, you're gonna leave the yellow onto the red rock that is top 8 foot.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to play that. That doesn't help him. I think what he's going to play is the guard across the top of the yellow and try to bring it straight back.
Yeah.
And at the very least, maybe you get the double P. You're going to have something on your next one, because Mike won't be able to guard everything with one rock.
It must be really frozen there. It was a joke.
I'm just checking the live stream to see if it froze too, and it did again. I don't know whether anybody can hear us or not, but I apologize for the technical difficulties we're having this evening. Guard over curl just a little bit.
Yeah, it did over curl. So now we're just gonna smash. We're gonna try to hit this just off nose. Hit what you can see, basically.
Yeah, he can get 2 of them for sure. If he can get it, if he can hit the first one so that it catches the second one thin enough,
yeah,
he can come over the top of the third one and at least get them all moving.
Yeah. Got a chance, Ed. Got a chance.
Even if he just gets 2, at least he's got a draw path available.
Yeah.
Certainly threw it hard enough, but didn't catch the third one quite thick enough. Just pushes it back to the corner of the button.
Yeah.
It's better.
It is better, yeah. I think it's probably accessible with the out turn now.
It is, but if Mike McEwen freezes to it from either turn, and he's going to play the in to do it, if he gets the corner freeze on his own stone, he's sitting 2 on the button, then you can't get them out.
No, it's not an ideal situation.
Still better than it was. That rock top of the 4-foot, you couldn't do anything with it where it was. No. If you could have moved it even 6 inches farther back.
Yeah.
Suddenly it's in a pretty good spot for you, but
even like a couple of inches to the left from
the
overhead.
Either further back or further over, one or the other.
Just unlucky that I got almost nothing.
Rushers have been with it all the way down. They haven't really gone hard. Now starting to pick it up.
Yeah, it's really starting to go now.
It's up just a little bit short.
Ooh, he's looking at this double. He's running the rocks back.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, maybe get to the stone with the out turn, but if he's anything on the outside of it all, he's still not shot rock. Mike throws a guard, and you got to draw to the button with your last one to score. Yeah. Even if all you get out of this is the double peel, Mike throws a guard, and you've still got the same shot. I mean, you've got the draw to the button to score, so you're not in any worse situation. If you can absolutely nut the run back, that's probably your best chance, maybe your only chance to score 2.
Yeah, you got to cross this a little bit, right? Just
even if you just get 3 of them, get the 2 guards and the one out of the top of the 8-foot, it's going to give you a much more makeable shot for your last one. Rushers have been off and on. This one's probably a little closer. He's got 1. He's got 2. He's got 3.
Oh, nice. Look at that.
Makes the 4th one move.
It's a decent shot.
I'm going to shoot her around as well. Unfortunately, the redstones rolled together, so it's still buried. He won't have a chance to. Rushers have been off and on. This one's probably a little closer. He's got 1. He's got 2. He's got 3.
Oh, nice. Look at that.
Makes the 4th one move.
It's a decent shot.
Might leave a double.
Yeah. But they're a double to blank, you mean?
No, because he's got a biter on the outside 12-foot. If he leaves him a double, it's for 2.
Oh, right.
That Yellowstone stayed at the edge of the 12.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's part of his consideration.
I think
for Mike here. He came down and said, you know what? I better have a little bit more ice.
Yeah.
They're going to go sideways coming into the house. And we've seen it already in this game, a rock come out the other side a little bit.
Yeah, you're not coming around to guard here. You're trying to just go, you're trying to bite the center line. Right? You're trying to make
sure you can be dead buried, but you sure wouldn't want to over curl this at all.
Yeah. So the guard isn't really in play for the shot. You're just trying to make sure that you're around the center line. That's the key.
Brushes went down early again, but once again, they weren't really scrubbing that hard at the start. Well, they picked it up now. This needs to stop.
It does. They might have overswept it. Do you ever try it? Control weight?
I don't know. I think it stopped in time. Boy, that wouldn't have had to curl much further.
No. I mean, he's playing. He's playing. They might.
He's just playing to move it.
Yeah, he's playing to move it.
Yeah, there's a big difference between throwing on like a back 8-foot weight, back 4-foot weight even, and the weight that he'd need to throw to kill both reds.
It'll curl some. You don't.
Oh, it will. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the shot is there, but it would look hard and tough. It looks tough from the hack because you're throwing weight at a rock that's over buried.
Well, and if you rub the guard, it's 2. The game.
Yeah. Yeah. No, if you got one here, you're okay. One's good here. It's not outstanding, but it's not bad. It's better than dropping 2.
Getting a single point here could be a big confidence builder for Libbus too.
Gotta go to get past this guard.
Nope. He's not had the luck with the number 8 stone that he'd like.
No.
Crashes the guard, so it's a steal of 2 anyway. Mike McEwen jumping out to an early 4-1 lead here, trying to stay undefeated. Jacob Libbus will have last rock again. Let's see if he can mount the comeback in the 4th.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Fourth end underway here, Saturday night from the Saville Center. Jacob Libbus has had a few struggles early on in this game. Trails 4-1 as we begin play here in the 4th, but he does have last rock. And for the first end, we see the first rock of the end called into the house. That's the stone at the top of the 8-foot. Libbus counters with the corner guard from Michael Henricks.
Yeah, I think if it was a center guard, he would have thrown a corner guard anyway. So
he was throwing the corner guard anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Just change the order of these shots.
Well, you don't even have to throw a center guard here. You could bring this one right into the rings as well.
I think that's what they're trying to do. Get it right on top.
For Mike McEwen, if you could tempt Jacob Libbus to start playing hits in the middle, you're happy with that. So why not go 2 into the rings? If he buries this one so well that you can't get at it, you could still throw a guard on the 3rd one if you wanted.
Yeah, he's coming around here.
Yeah, you had to had to expect him to do that. Hitting's a little, as much as Mike would like to talk him into hitting, you can't really fall for that.
I'm just wondering whether or not you throw another corner.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. It's probably a little early for that.
Yeah.
You get 2 here, you're still in the game. You don't need to pull out the stop to try to get 3 yet.
Yeah, McEwen doesn't have a great situation going here. They're kind of a little staggered, and they're just like there's nothing in the forefoot yet.
Yeah, would have
it
liked
doesn't
that
look
first one.
devastating. It's not a devastating situation for Libbus. That's all I'm saying.
They got that stone well buried though. Can't even
beautiful.
think about making a play at it. So he's going to throw the guard. It's like you said, this is not a steal situation. It's not like he's got a rock in a spot where he's trying to steal. He's just playing this to, again, he's trying to force Jacob to deal with those rocks in the middle at some point in time. Because when he does, there's a chance he's going to leave doubles. You got to get him away from the corner and make him play with the stuff in the middle.
Yeah, that's the goal here, right?
Yeah, and it's cat and mouse, and it always is, and it's so interesting to watch the 2 teams work at it, because Libbus is going to try to get the play to the corner as much as he can. Yeah. And it's from a spectator's point and a commentator's point, this is a lot of fun to watch when you get the 2 teams just trying to manipulate the game into the section of the ice that they want to play on.
So I think one of the real keys to this shot is hold your shooter, right?
It is, yeah.
It doesn't even really, and so I'm not sure if you throw Peel at this. This is
a lot of teams wouldn't.
Yeah. It's just so much more precise when you throw Peel at this. Did it anyway. Held the shooter.
Yeah. Maybe got the 2 yellows a little too close together.
Maybe.
And that's just a bad break. I mean, you don't know exactly where that one's going to end up over there. It just ended up in a spot where the double peel's pretty hard to miss.
Yeah.
Gets 1, gets 2, rolls the shooter out of play. Just the 3 rocks in the rings now. It's McEwen sitting shot. Libbus is second. He'll have to guard it for now.
Yeah. This is seconds last.
Yeah, you're already counting ahead, same as me, right? You're talking about the cat and mouse, and now the cat and mouse game changes a little bit. It's how many guards can we afford to throw?
Yeah.
Or he just ignores it and sits 2. You know he's going to peel 1 or 2 probably.
He's going to definitely peel the next one.
Yeah.
He's going to peel this one.
It all comes down to timing. And I've turned around and asked my opponents, how many guards can I throw before you're going to peel it? Yes. God damn it. The guy he may not tell you at all. And if he does, he might lie.
He might lie, yeah. You might just keep throwing guards right up until you're last.
Can see a piece of it.
Yeah, they're going to... Is there a reason to? I think you just run the guard, right?
Yeah, if you could play it as an either or, but it's tough. You know, if you could play it tight enough, but you can't see a big piece of it. If you could play it where, well, okay, let's play it, and if we happen to crash the guard, we peel the guard. The problem with that in this situation is it's going to go into the reds, and you don't want to disturb those.
No, I think you just throw this intern peel and double them out. That's what I would play if Flash was my third.
The peel's not as automatic this time either, though. With the double peel, the way they were angled, they were definitely going over the top of the reds. You hit a half a rock on the peel, which is just kind of the natural what you want to hit. There's a chance it's hitting one of those red stones.
He knows more than I do, but that is tight ice.
Well, again, though, he's iced it to make sure we don't go by everything.
Yeah, that release is a positive out-turn release.
See that with a lot of especially the slam teams. They've taught themselves to throw that way because You get used to playing on ice that curls 6 feet, and you just you can't be narrow on those.
That was tight ice, but that was a really, really nice. That was just that was the way that he threw it. Because I tell you, if Libbus has that ice, they're crashing the guard. And that's a big factor in this game, right? That they know how to be positive with their handles because they're playing in arenas all the time.
Yeah.
And when you don't get to play in arenas all the time, you play in a lot of curling clubs. Some curling clubs, you put a bit less handle on it because it makes it curl more in a curling club.
Now, just generally speaking, the rocks aren't as conditioned always in a curling club. The Saville Center, though, is one of the top clubs in the nation and the training center, so you can trust that they're conditioning the rocks the same as they would in the arena.
These are good rocks. It's not a bad result, actually. Got a biter out of it.
Got everything off the center line.
Yep, got everything off the center line. They probably have to deal with this biter.
There's some room in the forefoot now.
Yep. He doesn't like just hitting the top one.
Well, and again, it's that cat and mouse what we were just talking about. If you hit the top one and roll over,
they're coming around the whole.
You've done what Jacob Libbus was trying to get you to do. He's gotten the play off the center line. Mike is trying to find a way right now. How do we keep the play on the center line?
Yeah. Or how do we just make this so that he can't duck everything around everything? Like, how do we put some pressure on him?
Don't think there's a way. The only way to keep the play on the center line is you hit this on the nose, but then he's got a direct path at, I think that's shot rock at the top of the 8 foot.
He's playing to cross this with pretty quiet way to just try to hit and roll over to his red. It's got a curl. That's actually a decent spot.
Yeah.
That's probably better than rolling all the way, actually, because if you come around on this outside.
It's probably the best spot he could get as far as trying to keep the play somewhere in the center line area.
Yeah.
Yes, he can make a play on shot rock now, but he can't roll towards the center line. And if he rolls the other way, he's not going to be shot rock.
And he can't really come around the center guard because the
short run,
the short run is there. So he's got to play this shot. I mean, he could consider freezing to the back one.
He could. It's a tight port. I think kill this one first, and you hope you get a chance to play to the back one yet on the next one. You want to at least roll to fully behind the yellow guard, if not even over roll it a little bit to make sure you've got a path to that back one. Because you can't get shot rock off the roll. You're going to be second shot off.
Yeah, you're going to be second shot, so it doesn't really matter where you are. Well, it's got to go.
It should with this turn.
Yeah, it's really got to go there. This one, it's not going great. It's hard to turn it around.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Ted Lasso?
All of it. Yep. Love it.
Yeah. So Ted Lasso said that be a goldfish and have no memory. That's what you need in this game. Zero memory of the shot that you missed.
Goldfish would freeze to death on curling ice, though. That's not the
that's
not the goal. Yeah.
That's true. Wouldn't survive out there, the goldfish.
No.
See, this is plenty of ice too. It's not plenty of ice.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that.
No,
it's a little bit more ice than it's a little more ice than you expect to be where he's going.
No, I don't think it is. It's again, this is 8 draws for me watching, and it's one of those things. This ice and these rocks have been conditioned so well. This rock's going to run.
Yeah,
and right about here, it's going to start to curl, and you don't want to be tight to the guard. If you're tight to the guard, you'll come out past it on the other side.
Yeah,
they move so hard, so late with draw weight. anything, maybe 6 inches too deep.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
But
you got to move this, though.
Dead in
you
behind.
got to move this. You got to be shot, I think, here. Or else you're running back that yellow for your deuce.
Well, if you could get it absolutely welded on the nose, there's a lot of teams in this competition that wouldn't mind playing that angle run back for the deuce.
No, absolutely.
If you can get the good angle on the freeze, and that's why I think he's looking at the intern.
That's why he's looking at the intern, because he's dreaming about that run back.
Well, and he could line the angle up a little better from the intern. He could be angled towards that yellow guard so that no matter how he runs it back, the stone he's about to freeze with isn't going anywhere.
So, inside edge of the 8-foot, where he put that broom down.
Yeah, I don't know if that's enough ice for him.
I don't think that's enough ice either. That does not look like... That's pretty close to what Mike took on the other side.
And he crossed the center line. And for most people, their out turn is going to be a little straighter than their in turn.
Yeah. Not me. My intern would make this easily, but it's not very good these days. Yeah, this looks tight. Decent release. Little pop. Lots of rotation.
Here's where it should start to curl.
Yeah. It's got lots of rotation, which is...
and it is. Look at it go sideways.
Yeah. It's a decent shot. Maybe just a hair heavy.
Yeah, I would say so. He left some separation there. Bounced off. If you were going to move it even just a couple of inches less weight, just so he didn't roll as far off, it would have been better.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised it rolled as far as he did. He hit half or a little bit more.
Oh, he just had so much rotation. Yeah. It was almost a spinner.
Yeah, true.
Do you think Mike's thinking here he could get almost to the nose?
Yep, he definitely is.
That's what he's...
Doesn't have to get it all the way out the back, but he's probably trying to throw like back line. If he gets it full 12, he's sitting 3. I think he's thinking he can get across the face enough to maybe get underneath.
I think he's thinking that too. That's because, I mean, he's looking at probably like a back, like a, you know, almost a hack, but not quite.
Yeah, back line just through.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking the same as me. Boy, if he does get the roll underneath, he's going to be top half of the button buried.
Yeah.
Again, it'll be very difficult for Jacob Libbus to even score.
Nice little pop release there too.
Right there's where it should start to curl.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's curling quite enough, so they've gone to the offside sweep. Maybe overswept it. They brought that outside sweeper in and over-carved it a little bit.
But it worked out perfectly. Look at that.
Well, he's left him enough to get to it, I think.
Do you think?
On the out turn?
Yeah, he's got to just get to the nose, right? And then...
but just enough weight to move it. Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah.
But you got to move it. You don't even want to be right to the nose because you jam it on the back when it's still going to be shot rock. You got to be basically the same weight he just threw.
Same weight he just threw, hit what he can see.
Close to the same piece.
Hit what he can see.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's still got to skinny the guard.
You won't have to be that tight to the guard because it's going to finish again, same as his last one did. His should finish a little more than Mike's does.
Yeah. Can he throw that same rotation with his out turn?
Throw the same weight you just threw. You're pretty close.
Same weight. Got to throw some rotation. Big shot here. 4-2, you're still in it. Miss this, and I think you shaky.
Well, yeah, depends on how much you miss it.
Yeah.
Crash the guard, it's probably 3.
Yeah.
Hit the stone in the forefoot and just roll a little bit too far. It might only be 1.
Got lots of rotation again. Got it
They've
out
already
there.
they've already got the inside sweeper going, though.
Yeah.
This is tighter line than you'd like to see this early.
I think he's going to be okay.
Is it going to get by the back one, though? No.
Oh.
No. Got to the face of it. Taps
Yeah.
it back. It's still a steal of 1.
Well, they're going to play.
Sure, you're going to play. Still only down by 4. Stranger things have happened.
Oh, yes.
Mike
That was a
McEwen,
decent throw. That wasn't that far off.
Yeah, if anything, might have been a bit tight. They jumped the sweep right away.
Yeah.
Mike McEwen, happy to.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
Master's thesis based on it.
Nice.
Fifth end underway early. The two teams opting not to take the break that they're allowed to take at the end of the fourth. I don't think either of these teams has a coach in attendance. So Mike McEwen with the 5-1 lead as we begin play here in the fifth, throws the first stone to the top of the forefoot. Michael Hendricks being asked to throw the corner guard. We saw last end when the end started out this way. Mike McEwen threw a second one into the house. With an extra point on his lead here, you probably would assume that he's going to do the same thing.
Yeah, right in.
Still wants to keep them lined up. You never want to freeze these stones, I said. That's one of the mistakes I see a lot. Not at this level, maybe the one step down from here where they try to freeze their own. And the problem with freezing your own stone here is that then at some point in the end, Jacob Libbus can hit that right on the nose and he's still frozen.
Yeah.
You want to leave a little separation.
And you want to try not to stagger them if you can help it too.
Saw them sweeping on that one. I think it was a case of they were thinking it was going to be close together. They were hoping to bump it to get some separation. It was only a couple of inches.
I think they thought it was probably going to overcurl if they didn't sweep it.
Well, there could be that too, yeah. And now is the second corner guard you wanted, Matt.
Yeah, this is it.
And they're going to play them on opposite sides. More and more these days, I see teams play two corner guards on the same side. Now, having said that, where they put the first one, it's hard to throw them both on the same side.
Right.
If you're going to throw them both on the same side, exactly. The halfway ones, it's really tough to throw a second one. The problem with splitting the house, and this one came to a good spot for them. The problem with splitting the house like this with your corner guards is in a lot of cases, it takes away both draw paths to the button. This one slid far enough that he still got the out turn to the button.
Yeah, you got to make sure it's way over there.
Yeah.
But then you're taking ice that's just kind of like, depending upon where you are, you're taking ice just off the center line. And then it's really hard to go off. It's hard to go around it because you have to take more ice, a little bit more ice, and then you're on the center line.
I know what you mean, but you're assuming that you're going to get there with a straight draw. And in a lot of cases, the way these teams get to use those corner guards in a situation like this is a hit and roll later on in the end. Exactly.
Yeah, you need a lot of things to go right for you when you're in this kind of situation.
Yeah.
When you're down 5-1 to a team, to an elite team like this,
you still have to just be thinking about getting 2 here.
Yeah.
This is an aggressive call.
Yeah.
It's the 6th rock of the end, so you could do something with the ones in the middle. And I'm not suggesting necessarily that you have to hit them, but this is that situation where you could throw maybe the back line to Hack, try to come by and catch the 2 reds in the house, move one of them behind the T line. And if you happen to crash the guard, you split it to 2 corners, which is legal now because this is the 6th rock of the end.
Yeah. Yeah. So you play the intern with a make sure you keep your shooter.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Heavy draw, really. It's heavy draw.
Yeah. Back 8, back 12-ish, and clip off it, move things around a bit. You're okay with cracking the center. This, what it forces McEwen to make a decision too. Do you rip the guard? Where do you rip the guard? His shooter's gonna be flying over to the red, which could work out well for you.
Could.
Because it could open it up.
I'm not convinced he's going to play it.
I'm not entirely convinced he's going to play it either, but I think
I think when he's looking at it, you could play it. I think he's looking at perhaps you play the peel on the other corner guard and try to have your shooter come across and take the one in the rings. That's what he was lining up just a second ago.
Oof, yeah. Nice. Why not? Why not? I mean, you could also try to just double up the 2 yellows, right? Just try to hit it off nose.
You could, yeah.
And roll your shooter
to the center. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that might be what they've decided on, or even if they just peel it there and roll to the center line, just playing the hit and roll. Yeah. Get rid of the guard and get a second center guard for yourself.
Yeah, because if you try this peel and you go into that red, it works out pretty well for Libbus.
You don't really want to move the center guard yet. You'd like to make him do that.
Oh, wait, he's playing.
Goes back to the peel. You just need to be less than half here. Make sure you drive it over the top of the 2 reds in the rings.
Yeah. Has some risk.
It does.
Looks like it's coming onto the reds. Oh. Oof.
Just like a quarter.
Yep. Just enough.
Hate this call.
I don't like this call at all. Yeah, no, you need rocks in play right now. This rock is not your enemy. It's not your friend, but it's not your enemy.
Well, it could be your friend before the end's over.
Your friend, yeah, it could be friend later. Right now, it's not.
If you play that little tap that I was talking about, it could still be your friend.
Absolutely, you could play with the out turn even, like just come down and move some things around.
This is one of those ones when I'm coaching myself. I've told my teams, you look at the scoreboard and that'll tell you how many hits you're allowed to play in it. This scoreboard says you're not allowed to play any.
Yeah, even if you make this perfect, it still didn't love it. And it's good result. It's good execution. It's still, you left the corner open. So hard to roll perfect. So precise.
Even if you do, he's just peeling the guard, and the peel's easier now because he's not worried about coming into a rock in the center line.
Exactly. Yeah. You took away all of the. Yeah. possibly a confidence thing. Like we're just
Could
not
be.
confident in our draws, but we're confident we can make this.
Well, and it could come down to, again, Jacob himself has struggled a little bit in this game, and it might be a situation where he'd just like to see an easier shot with his last one.
Yeah.
Might work out for them, though.
Yeah.
There's an unexpected miscue.
Yeah, that is a
closest thing to a miss that we've seen.
Is this that situation where you come down and try to just nose it with even and just push that one to the back ring?
It might just be, and I say that only because, and maybe you're looking at the same thing, you don't have a double available on those reds.
There's no double.
Because it's going into the yellow.
Yeah, it's going into the yellow. So you can't.
It's one thing to split the house if you know that you can double that out later, but you can't.
You can't. Yeah. You can't. And it's there's not a lot of later in this. Like we're halfway.
No, we're still on the third stone. First third stone here.
Yeah. There's 4 rocks left. You're halfway through this end. So they go here, like you bury here.
No, they're gonna have to go to get by here.
Yeah, they're not getting by. No, they're not getting by. But if you did, let's say you made it, you make that perfect. He hits this open. No, he doesn't. I think he runs the guard probably, and he doesn't hit this open one because this open one is done right now.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but with a 4-point lead, I think if Mike's got an open rock, he's probably hitting it.
Yeah. Probably.
This is another situation where I wish we had mics on the players, and I don't know. I can't hear any of the on-ice mics myself right now.
Yeah, I can't hear any of the on-ice.
So the viewers might have a better idea than we do what they're talking about, but
I think they're talking about whether or not to try to hit it and stay, or to just pick it out, and then what he does next. I think that probably the conversation was, if we just hit this, it's going to be hard to hit it and roll inside. We have to play it with down weight, and we don't want to take the guard. So why don't?
Well, and if you roll out, he plays the double and roll behind those 2 guards on the right, and he's still going to have a chance for 2 or maybe 3. You throw the center guard here, and you're still forcing Jacob Libbus to deal with these rocks in the middle. Tougher shot.
I think so. I think that's probably the conversation they had. Like, if you just pick out that yellow, you just give them a chance at their dues. If you do this, like, you just make it.
It's an aggressive call, but a guard's not the toughest shot in the world to make, and now you forced your opposition to make a much more difficult shot.
Yeah. There's no good way to get these either. Just because it doesn't go over top of your yellow.
Yeah, so you're only going to get one of them, I think.
Yeah. He thinks maybe if you go over the top of this, lose your shooter, hit 3/4 of a rock on the outside, on the high side. Now the low side.
Which turn do you play in high side? Like, I'm thinking what he's playing here, try to hit it 3/4 or even.
Yeah.
Even a shade bigger. It's not necessarily that you have to lose the run back stone. If it rolls over the edge of the 12-foot, that's fine. Your shooter, actually, if you get really lucky, might roll out to the outside and cover that second shot stone. That'd be a bonus.
3/4 rock with peel, it's probably gone.
Don't know if he's throwing white peel. Throw normal, maybe?
Pretty tight ice. Yeah, he is throwing normal.
Not even normal. Quiet.
Hard to tell. This might overcurl on him.
Yeah, I don't think he was wide for sure. Could get it the other way. That works.
Yeah, can.
Probably got second shot. You've got a run back on a shot rock available.
Got a couple of them.
Mike's probably got to hit that yellow stone now. It's hard to ignore that stone when he's got a run back available on a shot rock.
This might overcurl on him.
Yeah, I don't think he was wide for sure. Could get it the other way. That works.
Yeah, can.
Probably got second shot on a shot rock available.
Cool reflex. I like this new feature of replay from last year.
Not sure what that gesture was about. Maybe they're thinking, can he make the double and get by the yellow? And I don't think he can. Maybe Mike's looking at it.
I think the gesture is come down with a little bit of weight and just split that.
He's looking at playing it himself. Play the red onto the yellow.
Or even just with a bit of, or just like a split, a straight split, not weight wise, just a draw.
How are you getting there with just a draw though? By the time he gets by the yellow, the guard, the center guard, it's curling so hard you're going to hit that one fairly thick.
Yeah, but you can also nose it and tap it back, and that's not the worst case scenario either.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure I'm ready to give you that. Yeah, I don't mind that. If I'm Mike McEwen, I don't mind that red one where it is right now. Yes, it's open, but he can't really play the double because he's going to jam it on the side one. Bring it up another rock's width, because then the double attempt is thinner. So then he might be able to play it. I don't think you want to touch that one yet. I know it's open, but it actually isn't hurting you where it is.
No, I agree. I think I'm not sure I like the shot. Like, I don't really mind just getting rid of this. I don't mind getting rid of this yellow with a 5-1 lead.
Yeah, that's
just
exactly
picking this out. But I think they were just having a conversation about the ways to do that. And I think they're thinking like we could put a lot of pressure on them if there's a way that we can think about making a shot. Like, and I think they were looking at playing it with weight or playing it with a draw.
Could be.
And just the way their brims were going, they were looking at playing it with like a control weight or just a tap.
They will look at all the angles for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And then they just come down to
and not just for themselves. I mean, as much as they like to play the angles they're very good at, they've got a lot of respect for the other teams. So some of those discussions are, well, they've got this. What do we do to take it all away?
And I think it just comes down to, boys, let's just get rid of this rock, right?
Yeah. Scoreboard says we get rid of this
Worst case scenario, we're 5-2.
Let him make the double in the top two, because if this side one's gone after he makes the double, his shooter's going to stay in the open.
Yeah, his shooter's going to be
and he's not getting a deuce.
Got
to get by.
Oof. Wow.
Great job by the Brushers. I still think that should have rubbed.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I'm watching it on the YouTube stream, and he started sweeping right away. We're 5-2.
Let him make the double in the top two, because if this side one's gone after he makes the double, his shooter's going to stay in the open.
Yeah, his shooter's going to be
and he's not getting a deuce.
Got
to get by.
Oof. Wow.
Great job by the Brushers. I still think that should have rubbed.
Yeah. I don't think you can.
Oh, no, but he's still got the intern around the corner guard. Just if you're dead buried, you just look at where the edge of the corner guard is. It's just off the edge of the forefoot. So if he's buried right at the tee line, I think he's shot rock.
He could be shot rock. Yeah, that's what he's trying.
The problem is, how do you get a second one in if you make the first one?
Well, now you're playing run back, right?
Yeah, probably. Could do that now, though.
You could do that now.
You could. You stuff it or roll it behind the corner. Either one's good.
Well, he's taken on this intern around the corner guards. Let's see.
You get, because that run back is still there in the middle, you don't even necessarily have to be shot. You could overbury the guard, be second shot. Just make sure this is absolutely gone.
You got to be second shot.
You got to be second, but if you're in the 8 foot, there's no way to be any worse than second. But you don't have to be just edge to edge with the guard. You can totally lose this.
Looks really quiet.
You just can't be short.
Yeah. Oof. Now.
You got to guard the hole. He's got the fairly routine double for one right now. That's his easiest shot. Good straight guarding.
I think he's gonna think about this tap now.
You could.
Yeah, he's gonna really think about this tap because
Well, you're not making his last shot any tougher.
You ever play the intern?
The intern is what I'm looking at, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if he's playing the run back at the middle one anyway, now you might show him staggered rocks at the front of the house, and he might not be able to run anything onto shot rock.
He might not. The only thing he might have is an outturn tap and one of these yellows to the
Yeah.
It might be still what ends up happening here with this shot too. I think he's playing a tap. I don't think he's playing the guard.
Oh yeah, no, with that ice for sure, he's got to be playing the tap, because if he just threw guard weight on this, it would overcurl for sure.
Yeah. I think he's probably going to be aggressive with this weight too and really move him.
Probably looking at throwing back 4-foot weight, try to tap it right to the tee line.
Yeah.
Back 4 foot
I was
out of his
thinking
hand.
even more. Yeah, back 4 foot out of his hand for sure. Not bad.
Yeah, that's probably pretty good.
Yeah.
Probably got to play the run double now.
Yeah. Or, yeah. There's a lot of ways to make it. A couple ways to miss it, but there's
I'm only seeing one way to make it.
Yeah.
You got to drive it back to catch about a quarter, have it come over and stuff on the stone that might just tapped up. You kill those two.
You might get it. You might get shot too if you just skinny the top red. That's
you're thinking off the top of the other one or off the back of the other one.
Yeah,
it might hit it. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Your only other choices are any of those angle tap draws, and that can't be easier than this.
No.
Not that this is easy by any means, but this is the kind of shot that a lot of these teams, they play it fairly often anyway. So it's not that they're really uncomfortable playing the shot. It's just the desperation of the situation that makes this one a little tougher.
The problem with the taps is the outturn tap. The outturn tap on the rock that you would have to tap, that first rock that's just to the right of the centerline guard. It's hard to play with the outturn.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have to skinny the outside one. So you almost have to play with the intern, which is even tougher.
I almost think if you're playing the tap, the easiest one to tap is the widest one. And you
Yeah,
have to go
I agree.
really wide to throw the outturn to do that.
The widest one or the third one that's over there.
Yeah,
either one of those two would probably be preference.
So looking for the raised double. Going to be a little bit thin. Catches one. Spins the shooter across, and it's going to be another steal of 3.
Yeah.
And the
That's a
handshakes.
bargain.
Mike McEwen moves to 4-0 with an 8-1 victory here over Jacob Libbus. That drops the Libbus team to 1-3. Both of these teams will be on the ice tomorrow afternoon to conclude round robin play, and then onto the championship round on Monday. Mike McEwen with a 4-0 record. It's a pretty good chance already to be in that championship round. Other than that, a lot yet to be determined tomorrow. We'll have all the action tomorrow on Curling Stadium Edmonton. You can go to the YouTube channel and find your favorite team, or go to curlingzone.com and find your game there, and then click the link to get to the YouTube channel. Matt, I want to thank you for joining me tonight.
Thanks, Shawn. It was a lot of fun.
Shawn, Joyce, and Matt Hames, happy to have been here to bring you this game. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you for all the action tomorrow and Championship Monday.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.